Hi, welcome to In the Studio with Kate. It's year 2, week 9. It's the last week for 2018. I hope you all had a great holiday, and if it wasn't so great, that you moved on from it. I haven't really done all that much art in this Christmassy week. Sorry about that. Scoot up a little so I can get a little closer to the screen. I did do some sketching on, I don't know if it was Christmas Eve or Christmas, I don't think it was Christmas Day. Oh, 23, so a couple days before Christmas. And so then there's this face. And then after I did that, I think I was watching football or something. And so I've already shown this flower, but I put this blue jay in and he came out a little, not quite right, but like his crest is a little bit too big. But then I kept painting the areas that were supposed to be white, blue, and trying to take it off, and it doesn't really work with watercolor. Once you put it down there, it's there. And then I did a little graphite sketch of my poinsettia plant. And that's this one. So that's about all the drawing I've done. I did get some fun things for Christmas presents that I kind of consider it like the mother lode, which I'll share with you. I put a lot of nice watercolor brushes on my Christmas list, hoping to get one of them. And I got all of them. One of them came from Amazon, and it was not true straight, so I sent it back, so I can't show you that one. But this big rock brush is it's a Vinci Petit Gris. I don't know how that's pronounced, but it's made in Germany. It's a size 3. Really nice brush. And then I got this small one, which is a Winsor Newton Series 7, number 6. It's finest sable, made in England, and so it's much smaller brush. And then, if you remember, a while ago, after going to SketchCon, I bought this Escoda Versatil number 8 traveling brush. These are traveling brushes because they come apart. Of course, if I can't get it apart. And then they have the receptacle to put it. But I put on my list a traveling set. And they actually came in this little leather-like case. I don't know if it's real leather or not. How do you know, huh? And in it came a set of 3. And so now I have a size 10. There's the 10. And I have a size 6 and a size 2. I think it's a 6. Where does it tell me? Yeah, so it's 2, 6, and 10. And then I have the 8 that I already had. And I can actually work them all into this particular case, even though they were not. Let's show you that. Just going to put them all back. And they're respective. So I figured out if I could put the 3 big ones in here, would there not be a way to fit the small one in here? So, and I just scooted in there. Scooted in there like that. And the case is a little bit tight at that point, but I think it being leather that over time, it will get easier and easier to close this case. I can do it now with a little manipulating. So now I have a nice set of watercolor brushes to take with me. I don't think I showed these last time, but this was a little, I like to buy something for myself at Christmas, my own Christmas gift. So what I ended up getting is, I bought these on Black Friday, and it took about 3 weeks to get them. But they're made by Wildthorn. You can find them on Instagram. They make handmade watercolors, and this is the Ocean Sediment Collection. It's lots of all blues and greens. So, and the packaging when it comes, it's packaged up so beautifully. But so I'm just learning how to use these a little bit. They're a little bit different, being custom made. The other fun thing I'm going to do, did I put the picture in here or not? Not yet. But my daughter got me this for Christmas, which is Liz Steele's book on doing architecture. And I got to meet Liz in at SketchCon and had a selfie taken with her. So I'm going to print out the picture, which I did. And I thought it was sitting right here, but apparently it's not. And I'm going to put it inside the book, like in the back slide where you would see the author or the front. I don't know which one I'm just going to glue it down there. I thought that'd be fun to have her picture in there. So really excited about having some time to look at that book. The one thing I also want to tell about these pen brushes, because these pen brushes are not cheap. But my friend Cynthia gave me this advice, is for these to store them this way. Because if you store it up like this and the brush is wet, and then the water is going to soak into the wood, it's just going to, could cause problems. It just gives you a little extra protection. So I think after they're used, I'm going to store them flat so they dry. This is more weaving related. But I have done some Navajo weaving before, and I'm interested in tapestry. So when I saw this book, I really wanted it. It's called Spider Woman's Children, Navajo Weavers Today. What's nice of course, the pictures are beautiful. The women are beautiful. Their stories are beautiful. So I was really wanted to get a copy of this book. But what I hadn't realized was that it's been written. It's the only book on Navajo weavers written by Navajo weavers. So it's not some white woman gone and writing about them. Two of the weavers in here are the authors. So I think that's pretty cool. Written by Linda Teller Pete and Barbara Teller Ornelas. I don't know how that's pronounced. So excited to be able to read that book as well. Those are the only art things, but I've gotten one idea that I want to share, and I'm going to tell you about it. It's from, is that book in here? I do try to have everything I'm going to talk about, but it doesn't ever end up that way. It's called Draw Your Day, and I did show it before once. But I was sitting there reading it the other day, and she was getting to the point where she's talking about what to draw when you don't know what to draw, or you're bored with what's in your vicinity. And she just had a few comments which I thought were really great, and a lot of it was about looking at your environment differently. Like if you take the same road to go to your job every day, or if you're retired and you just go to a store or whatever, and you have to take the same road, you see the same stuff, but can you see it in a different way? And I think I've never thought of sketching things that happen on my way to town. I mean, like when I drove to town yesterday, when I got up where the dog park is, there was an ambulance that turned in right into the dog park. There was only one car in there, so it didn't look like anybody was hurt there. And then there was a fire truck. And then there were two, another 100 yards down the road, there were two police cars. I didn't see an accident, and then I saw a semi, and it's just like, so it was either everything was over with or it was a false alarm. I don't know which it was, but I think it would be interesting to record that. you know, I can't have those exact scenes, but I could look for a reference image of a fire truck or an ambulance, or and then add them into and tell a story in my sketchbook. But the other idea that came to me after, you know, hearing what she had to say was, I thought, well, the other day I took Belle out for a walk, and as we walked across the street, there were 7 snow geese that flew over our heads. No, I didn't stop to take a picture. Wouldn't have had time. Just enjoyed the moment. And I really like that idea of enjoying the moment. So I've decided I'm going to do that in my sketchbook. So the first thing for me to do was to find some reference images. And so I haven't started this yet, but this is kind of sometimes my process. I will get some reference images and then kind of maybe put them together. So I got this picture of these snow geese flying above. And so that's probably close to what I want to do. But then I also found this picture, which is a snow goose in flight. And I thought it's nice to know see it close up, see what its features are. And maybe I'll draw all of these things. I don't know. And then there was another one, because I wanted the birds going this way. I swear all the bird pictures, they were going that way. I know I could reverse it, but I didn't. So now I have my 3 reference images, and I'm going to sit down probably in the next week or 2, and it's kind of like creating the story after the event. And so that's kind of like a future project that, but it's taking, even though it's not the exact birds that flew over my head, it's going to create a memory on that page that I'll be able to go look back, and I'll remember when I left the house and we went across the street, and I'll remember the birds and that whole experience by creating this page where if I had just taken a picture, I probably would have taken the picture, I probably would have put it on social media, and I probably would have not thought about it again. Whereas if I go and actually creating a picture based on this memory, it's going to have much more meaning. So, you know, I recommend that as a technique, as something to try if you are having one of those days and you want to be creating art, but you just don't know where you're going. The other thing I've been thinking about all week, or just the last several days maybe, is, you know, the end of the year, the beginning of the new year, how I want things to go or how I want things to be different. And a lot of it is kind of centering around space, like not filling my space up so much that I don't have the time to do something. Like, for an example, I want to start cooking again, but if I leave that like to the end, to, you know, if I'm running around, if I have an appointment and I do this and I do that, and then the whole day's filled, and then by the time it gets to be around dinner time, I'm just too tired. I just don't feel like taking that effort. And so what I've done the last couple of days was, it's not like I'm going to cook every day, because I probably won't, was I went and got some recipes and I picked them out, and then I went and bought all the ingredients, because if you're finding cool recipes of different things to make, there's always made with something you don't own. And so I'm finding that, you know, taking that intention, setting that in motion, and then the day I pick, I go, okay, I'm going to cook today, so I'm not going to, I got to have that time for it. It might be doing it in the middle of the afternoon, or it might be doing it later and just not having such a busy schedule, so that I can, it's like more like being in the moment cooking. Like, I'm going to take this experience of creating this new dish and pay attention to how I'm putting everything together, and then moving forward to creating what it ends up being, and then enjoying the meal. So it's a little bit of mindful eating and mindful creation in a sense. I don't know where I'm going to go with that, but I want to be doing more of that in the coming year. And I'm just really beginning to just explore just a little bit about it. And it kind of feeds over into other things. So it's just like this morning I was on Facebook and I saw these ads for these reusable vegetable bags to get the plastic out of the oceans. And although I recycle my plastic bags, where do they go after that? I don't know if they're taken care of or what happens. But it's one little thing I can do for the planet, I think. So I ordered them. I'm going to get 12 of these little drawstring bags, and then I'll take them to the grocery store, which also kind of feeds into, I think, that mindful idea of, okay, picking the food that's going to be made into something that's going to nourish me in a better way than what I'm doing right now. Sorry for my phone going off. It's here somewhere. I better turn it off before it happens again, because it will. Anyway, so I think it's like throwing mindfulness into something I want to foster change for myself in the coming year. So anyways, I've been rambling on and on, so I probably should end this. It's probably a pretty long video than normal. But I hope that in this year, I mean, the rest of this time between now and New Year's, you have some time to think about your own life, what you might think you want to have. If everything's going great, great. If it's not, what you might want to think about changing, or so on and so forth. I have planned for New Year's Day to meet with a couple friends and go have a little sketch out at a cafe. And I like the idea of starting the new year with art in one way or another, by myself or with others. So I encourage you to give that a try as well. So until next week, let's just all go out and make some wonderful art.